talking about the Nintendo Switch port, talking about the whole open world, the newer aspect of the Fortuna trailer. But this is going to be specifically about the hype that is being generated, really thanks to the We All Live Together video and sequence. The Fortuna, the specific like new civilization that we get to see, the race, and I guess all the gameplay that unfolds from there, sure, but we already talked about the gameplay. We already talked about it going on the Switch. We talked about the future of Warframe to an extent as a video game, but as a universe, as a world, as cultures are being represented here, as something to read, the lore, as something to watch cinematically, as something to play through as if it's a living, breathing universe. That's something different, and that's something that we're now starting to see and peek into with Warframe. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about everyone loving the We All Live Together song and really diving into Warframe as if it's a proper universe, a proper world. And I think that's a really great direction for Warframe. Now, for the longest time, we have had lore, kind of Soulsian a bit, with the way it was through little tiny descriptions in mods or items. It was piecemealed over the internets, and you can definitely find some lore videos which are still incredibly vague. And then we started getting a little bit more with the episodic stuff, literally like bigger cinematics as the game has progressed, and it can start to feel, I mean, I guess you play all the quests in one go, maybe like a movie, yeah. But I think it's now, starting with this newest, biggest, the Fortuna trailer update, with this next swath of updates that we're getting, I think it's really now where Warframe is coming to life. And we were teased it a little bit. We were teased some different, I guess you could say like the different civilizations. Like we knew about their cultures to an extent, but through the episodic stuffs that we've been playing, and especially with the Plains of Eidolon update, we started to realize that like there are people in this galaxy, or galaxies, universes. There's some wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff going on, I don't know, but there's no down to earth actual stuff and story and people and communications and dialogue to be had and feelings, and it's really awesome. There's definitely a personal touch that is permeating through Warframe, when so, well, I guess historically you could just say it's not been that at all. It's been the opposite of that. I mean, the characters that we played were Warframes. They were literally faceless. But that has become part of the flavor of the game, and we learned that we were operators. We weren't just frames, but then we also learned that the Warframes were people, and then, I don't know, all sorts of different things that are really unfolding the universe, but it's specifically in a very personal way. It's not just these grand sci-fi concepts, which were definitely there, but now it's more than that. It's an opera, and we're finally getting the actors in place. We All Live Together music video and the trailers and the Fortuna gameplay we see, and of course this is also stemming from the Plains of Eidolon updates and some of the later quests. We're really getting that personal connection. We're really starting to get the gameplay that we see immediately in Borderlands, we see in Destiny, and a few other looter shooters, and of course some MMOs. Like they basically just slap you on the face with a ton of dialogue. Warframe's never been like that, but here we're starting to get that awesome blend of course Warframe gameplay, which is second to none. It's good stuff. And they focused on that, but now they're intertwining that with, well, I mean, this is an action RPG. I think it's about time that we start getting a little bit more of that RPG. It's really cool to see such a unique culture. I just want to say that this one specifically, I mean, the whole like civilization that carved out meat from a giant tower and ate it, kind of a fisherman society. That was something. Plains of Eidolon, I think it was still kind of vanilla a bit. But no, this next one where the people with robot heads, very industrious, very kind of dwarvish in some ways. I mean, I can see some references, I can see some inspiration, but it's just really cool to see so freaking cyberpunk. There's such very strange civilization, there's so alien civilization, but then also to have it introduced so warmly, to have such personality while looking the way it does, which Warframe is so dark and coldly generally. Warframe could almost be considered a horror, and probably is. I would consider it a horror actually. But when a trailer like this comes out, it's just so weird. It is so uniquely Warframe. That's all. That's the only way I can really put it, is to have this color and warmth in such a very strange, desolate universe and now world setting. It's like Warframe is the only game that could really pull this off. And there's a few games, I would say, maybe like Dark Souls to an extent, Path of Exile, where you can have warmth in, well, a very dark setting. But Warframe is also cold, and it's so fast, and the spanning time, the story is so epic, it's so ridiculous. I mean, then again, so is Dark Souls and to an extent Path of Exile. It is such a very weird and cyber and like I said again, a cold sort of universe and experience so far thus far that it's just so very refreshing to see them go in this direction. Of course, you could say, well, they're trying to emulate Borderlands and Destiny, and they're trying to emulate that AAA quality and process to an extent. It might even, you could say, detract from the core gameplay. And honestly, I gotta admit, with Plains of Eidolon, it did. In terms of gameplay. But it looks like now there's definitely going to be more cohesion with the action in RPG. Like we see with Path of Exile and Dark Souls. It seems like they're going more in that direction, which is probably more unique to what Warframe can do, because it's not just a AAA storied game like Borderlands and Destiny. But the fact that they're incorporating it a little bit, incorporating it more in the core gameplay loop, and God, just like going, like Plains of Eidolon, okay, that was like, we're kind of trying to be like Destiny, but this one is like its own thing. Like it's really starting to feel like it's really its own color. So I think that's why a lot of people are excited. A lot of people are jumping into Warframe, and I think these kind of updates, the questing and like Plains of Eidolon and what we have here with the Fortuna trailer, this is the kind of stuff that's going to bring in even more people. And we can see the player population and the social media stuffs, talkings is definitely a lot. I don't know. I'm kind of flabbergasted by how massive the wave is for Warframe. It's just a lot of buzz going for it. And you can see why. I mean, I hope so. You can see why. Warframe, the We All Live Together stuff is just really freaking cool. So yeah, a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a ramble. That's really all I got to say about that. Warframe's color is a unique palette, which is normally very exposed. It's very black, very white. Since the very beginning, it was very gray, but we're starting to get more and more flavors, and it's starting to expand, and we're starting to really sink our teeth into the game. And you thought you spent time in the game already. You thought you knew where the game, the direction was going. I thought it was just going to go more grand concepts, more sci-fi, more weird. It went weird, but it went in a personal direction. I didn't know it was going to go literally down to earth. It was going to be more micro, and then from there expand the story with such personality. A game like this, it just doesn't make sense. How could they do that? Well, they did it. Episodic quests, new open worlds, which is essentially new boxes to play in. This is a toy box after all. And these new cultures allow for new, weird, very strange toys and also stories. So combined, yeah, we're getting new action and new RPG in what I think is maybe right now my #1 action RPG. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I still got some issues with it, but the cohesion is starting to be seen. I'm starting to see Warframe as maybe a more full game. It's definitely compartmentalized, and it's definitely still piecemeal at this moment. But with this new update, why everyone's talking about it? It's because it's looking like one of the most epic games out there. It's looking like a free-to-play game that's truly transitioning to AAA and doing it right and doing it mostly fairly. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about that. What did you guys think about the We All Live Together song, Fortuna trailer, and all the updates for Warframe? I got some other videos about Warframe and streams coming up at twitch.tv/Skylant. Hope you guys join us for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But in closing here, the direction I want the Warframe to go in is definitely more of those good quests. And I would like it if they could somehow tie it into the open world. Now, there were some quests in Plains of Eidolon. Just give us more reasons, give us more cinematic stuff that brings us into those open areas. I think that'd be quite fun. And I really want to see maybe more of an effort to get this storied content out faster, because I'm actually at this moment playing for that. That is my main drive to play the game. When before it was, acquiring the toys, I'm actually like becoming very invested in the lore. So yeah, give us more stuff as content creators to make lore speculation videos. And like, honestly, I feel like I'm waiting on a new season of Game of Thrones. Like it's honestly becoming that engrossing to me. Of course, I'm a fan of Dark Souls and things, but you know how the community took to the Dark Souls lore, right? So Warframe definitely has that potential to be that epic, which Destiny failed at trying to be. And Warframe with honest heart looks like it's beginning.